Hey guys, John here. Today we're in Avenger 2 and let's make a fun catchy sequence today. So let's go to menu, initialize the preset. And what I'm going to start off doing is I'm going to add a couple oscillators here. So we're going to have 4 oscillators total. So the first one, let's bring this down an octave. The second one, let's pan this all the way to the left with right clicking here on the level. And for the third one, let's do the same thing for right. And then the fourth one, let's bring this up 1 octave by scrolling this up here. So that's going to be the sound we're working with. Let's first add an EQ followed by a compressor. Now for this EQ, let's open this guy up here. That might be kind of a nice low end there. Widen up the Q a bit. And then find some of that mud that we don't really want. Stuff like that. And then maybe a little bit of a high shelf here. Something kind of like that. Okay, so now what we can do is go for each oscillator and route these all to the ARP. So we're just going to be using 1 ARP for this guy. So now we have that, which is kind of cool. So let's drop our amp sustain down all the way. And kind of dial in the decay and the decay curve to something that we kind of like. That might be kind of cool. Okay, that's kind of cool there. So compression. Give a little bit here, and let's get some output gain as well. All right, so it's already starting to sound kind of mean. Okay, so from here, what I like doing is going into the ARP. I do like doing 2 octaves, so we have something kind of like this now. It's kind of cool. So, but let's go to a different filter, and for this, I do like using the Nexus Low Pass 24, because you got that nice crispy high end at the top, but let's bring this down. Okay, so we can do a couple things. So sometimes the phaser can be kind of cool as well. There's this interesting one. I think it's dance. Is it dance and bass line? That's actually kind of a cool sound there. Let's dial the mix down a little bit though. Okay, let's add some delay. You know what? We can add delays for now, and we're probably going to do some interesting things as well. So let's add a delay, and let's go to 16 and kind of bring this filter down a little bit. And then let's actually bring this down a little bit. And after this, let's go for a multi-band distortion. It's kind of cool. And then maybe let's see if we can do the odd or see what that sounds like here. Maybe a little bit too much low end here. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. So now what we can do, what I like doing is going to the drums. And if you do have the EDM4, I like this kit. I think it's the Club Kit. So now we want to get this to pump. And a perfect thing for this guy is going to be the mini chain, which now we can kind of think, do we want the pumping to happen after the delay or before the delay? Really is kind of up to you. But for example, let's go down here at the bottom and let's select the mini chain. And I like tightening this curve quite a bit. So this is 100% wet, so it's going to be pretty obvious. Now, if you like that, that's totally cool. I like doing this, grabbing this little note here and kind of bringing this up just a little bit as well, just so it's not as harsh. So it's kind of a cool sound, and we can even change out some different drums here. Let's see what this codec kit sounds like. So let's see what this sounds like without the phaser, because this phaser kind of does really change the sound here. It's a little bit less snappy without the phaser, so let's bring our drums back here and see how that sounds. Little harmonic minor in there. Kind of an interesting sequence here. So let's say we like something kind of like this. We want to add some macros. What we could do is probably grab this first knob here, drag and drop this guy, and maybe find our lowest point. Let's mute our drums for now. That's kind of cool right here. So then let's turn this up all the way, and let's kind of find in our maximum value. Maybe something like that here, and we can double click and label this cut off, something like that. And then now check out our macro. And we can bring our drums back in. And especially with a sound like this, let's mute our drums real quick. We can probably play a little bit more off the delay, so we can actually probably bring up our feedback. So right here we have 1/16. What we can do as well, we can actually, let's remove this phaser for now and kind of bring these other guys up like this, and let's add in another delay. And this one, maybe we can do an 1/8 dotted note, something like that. Bring down our filter, something like that here. So we're gonna have a little bit more space kind of going on. And we could change the type here if we wanted to do like mono, left, right, stereo, crossover, ping pong, stuff like that. It might be kind of interesting. Maybe we can do a stereo plus 5 milliseconds. It's kind of a cool sound. So with that being said, we can unmute the drums and see how that sounds in context. And to try some other things too, we can always try some different kits. Maybe this dark kit might sound a little bit interesting. Let's bring in our decay a little bit more here as well on the filter. Something that's really nice about Avenger is that we can bring in a drum kit so quickly, so we can really kind of feel how this sequence is going to play out if we were going to put some drums behind it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to play around with these ones here, especially if you have kind of a fun little pattern to play around with. And we can always go into the ARP and give it a little bit of humanization so it's not as robotic sounding. And so here we're really only burning up 4 oscillators. We can use a little bit more if we'd like to. And keep in mind, these are all saw waves. So especially on the low end one here, this one that's down an octave, we can change that to a square for slightly different tonality. And even the higher pitched one up here. But yeah, just a lot of fun playing around with Avenger. Thanks so much for watching. Try to make a cool sequence, and the mini chain is a really, really cool module, so definitely don't overlook this guy. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something, and we'll see you in the next video.